Hello there, and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are once again continuing our Thrawn's Revenge 3.2 preview playthrough as the Pentastar Alignment. In the last episode, we finished off by getting attacked by an Imperial fleet coming into Bilbringi, which we'll deal with in a second. But we did have some rough times over Etti. We have our next fleet under Kane about ready to attack Etti again. But we need these guys in position. We'll see what the Empire is sending at us. And hopefully we have enough to stop it. What do you got? Okay, we've got the Blue Man group. We've got a Dreadnought shipyard. We have 312 pop cap with a command bonus there against 107 pop cap here, plus Dreadnought shipyard and a Golden one. We'll see what happens. If we can kill Thrawn at Bilbringi, I think I read a book about that once. I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't think it goes well for him. Their Destro, the mod is Thrawn's Revenge, upcoming version of it.
Enemy forces ahead. Reinforcements en route. Reporting in.
All right, let's pull back a little bit.
Moving to coordinates.
Try to take advantage of our...
Reinforcements en route.
Crap. I was going to try to take advantage of our bombers and fighters, but with what we've got here...
Standing en route. TIE interceptor here. Bombers.
Okay, well, we can see if we can loop around.
Engines activated. Star destroyer standing by. Reinforcements en route. Star destroyer reporting in. Reinforcements.
We can't leave. We can't use bombers as much. We need to kill those Lancers, but it's, what, 4 ISDs? Including Thrawn? If we can kill Thrawn, then that command bonus is going to drop. It's also, his own bonus doesn't apply to himself.
Orders.
Command bonuses in Empire at War do not self-apply. We only learned a few years ago.
Ready for action.
The game lies to us.
Ready for action.
Alright.
Course set.
I do answer questions in the Twitch streams.
Sir. Bombers at the ready. Ready to receive orders.
Even if it means that it's... when I don't repeat the questions, it gets very hard for people to understand what I'm talking about.
Weapons online.
Fatigable, Dallas favorite,
Reporting.
awesome ship.
Your command, sir.
Now you can't escape, can go back there. Ride of the Valkyrie can turn around, and Ahsoka Soro can turn around.
Awaiting standing by.
The Lancers are far enough behind that we can probably get a good run
Comlink active.
in. But the non-hero ones are going to be the easiest to attack first.
Target the lasers. Ready for battle.
Alright, we'll have at least a few
For the
waves of fighters and bombers anyways.
Roger that. For the
We have any anti-fighter? I'm going to try to use them to kill, Steel? No, Kreb.
ready for battle.
Rather than trying to mess around with our own fighters, trying to kill the fighter hero, let's use anti-fighter on it.
Roger that. Those laser banks are the
Okay, let's see if we can get on that.
Roger that. Commencing attack.
Interceptors, go through there.
Watch for enemy ships. Go after them. Your orders. Yes, Commander.
Alright, it's a lot of squadrons. Half of these are double squadrons. So we have more squadrons than it looks like we do. We have like 4 decent carriers worth, plus the other shipyard stuff and other ship stuff.
Those laser banks are the primary target. Getting a lock. Intercepting.
Alright,
Setting up.
now let's see if we can get to Thrawn with that. The anti-fighter is hanging around more by the support stuff. So they'll be harder to kill, but they'll be less effective. And there we go, we got the first one in range. Okay, we'll try to support from here. Send both of them on that, where they have the shields and missiles that can go together. Ever tried doing an AI which acts like the player, only sending a scout ship at first and dropping more after? You wouldn't be able to make the AI directly able to use the Pathfinder slot. You would have to make it so that once the AI's fleet is in, you send them back to the reinforcement pool. But then there's a chance they just give up if they have nothing there, so it's something we've thought about, but it would probably not really work in practice.
Nowhere to go. Losing power. Target the lasers. Reporting attack formation. Target priority is the laser guns. Go after the
Okay, we're most of the way through that one.
Orbital command available.
Let's see.
Primary target.
On that, Darthuk is asking, can you build the Secutor for the Imperial Remnant?
Roger that.
weapons ready. I copy.
Cannon Arrow 3.
Form up.
That was an old version, so probably not. These guys onto there, and I'm gonna get these guys onto the next ISD now. Thanks, just a sim.
Form up.
Roger that.
Good night. Okay, I'll keep them on that. See if I can move you back.
Open fire on those laser
And I want to kill
Destroy
any
those
turbo lasers.
Squadron reporting.
And you guys,
Bombs
let's go for that one.
awaiting orders. Take out the ion cannon.
Form up. Direct fire at their laser.
I don't want them to hit ion cannons.
Awaiting
I
order.
want them to hit
Directing weapons at
that.
the lasers.
No, I wanted you guys on there. Wanted you guys on there. You're still on this.
Copy.
But maybe we need these guys to help on this one.
Directing weapons at their lasers.
You're an interdictor. You are an
Direct fire.
enforcer.
Ready for orders.
All right.
Reporting. Come about.
I'm on this one.
If we lose this ISD, it's not the worst. If it tanks stuff up for us, we're still gonna get it back.
Location confirmed. I've got it. Reporting.
I'd rather lose it early and get the next one rather than have it like hang back on low health.
My scopes are jammed.
And they don't have much in reserve anyway, so we don't need to worry about like freeing up PopCap for them either. There's not really much of a reason to leave stuff alive.
Directing weapons.
But there is a reason to target the turbo lasers first. Try to save this Venator a bit more. You on that. You guys move back a little bit.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
All enemy craft. Course set.
Okay. Not the hero line, but a lot of those are
Direct fire at their laser attack.
Copy that.
low.
Fire on those ion cannons.
Ready to receive orders. Awaiting your command.
Where are the others? Shield's almost gone.
Their anti-fighter is starting to get into range, so that's a problem. We still got our garrison ships up front, which is what we want. You guys stay on there. Got another acclimator in already. Kind of sad that that one didn't last longer than this ISD did. It's fine. Okay, you come in. And I think we need to send the bombers after that VSD. Because that's going to be a lot of damage that goes pretty quick. Dies pretty quick. Okay, we don't need the full salvo on it. Let's go for Dorja next. Get around. See if we can get to Dorja rather than us. Here we go. Is it true the creation of the Tactor class was an accident? I don't know if accident is the right word, but like it was created with just the underside of an ISD from the movies. So it wasn't like an explicit thing of like, oh, this is this ship. Alright, ISD. Get in there. I'm gonna see if we can focus down the VSD then. You don't need the bombers on it, but... Alright, there's another ISD in there. They still got 4 up, including Thrawn and Dorja. Plus the anti-fighters getting in range, so we need to be a little bit more careful with how far in they go. Although, do we have much... Okay, no, just go for Thrawn now. Alright, skip raise onto him. No, just go for Thrawn. Just go for Thrawn. They're all pretty low. It's really just this ISD-2 that's in good health. But most of our fleet is just completely fucked at this point. Alright, see if you guys can get to Thrawn. You probably can't. They got most of their stuff in range. Alright. Dorja for you, Thrawn for you. Do we have anything else that's going to come in from reserves? Really, no.
Target confirmed. Destroying lasers. I got fighters on me. My scopes are jammed. Get over here and help. Sir, I've got it. Where are the others? Destroy. I've got it.
Got them on scopes.
Shield's almost gone.
Reporting in.
Losing power. I'm under attack. I'm getting torn apart.
Well, we'll see what else we can kill. Kill them. Don't even worry about Dorja then. Be able to kill Thrawn later. So we're definitely not going to be able to kill Dorja here. We might be able to kill these other two. They're clustered in there. They had 2 interdictors, so retreating was never going to be an option. Wasn't a great chance of victory, but we did a lot of damage, even if we didn't end up finishing everything off, unfortunately. Too much body blocking going on now. Yeah, all the Lancers are getting in range now. There we go. We should be able to kill this VSD as it comes out.
Open fire. Sir, Commander, they're hitting us. I've got him. Awaiting your command. Attack that target.
All right. We had nothing in production yet. So actually before we started the stream, I did cancel the Flying Floppa, which was being built here, and moved it to Yaga Minor because we got the notification at the last battle that it was happening, or at the end of the last stream that it was happening. So anyone who's worried about those credits, we didn't lose them. All right. We got, I think, 1 or 2 ISDs out of that, but if I'd concentrated fire a little bit better, it would have been probably something extra we could have gotten. 2 ISDs. Okay. How are we doing up there? I don't know which world you're going for, so I'll just do that one. Once we have these raiders in, I am going to pop that up there. And we're going to go to Etti. Alright.
Tactical battle imminent.
There's Mr. Sabaoth. You can have Bilbringi.
System lost.
You go over there.
Construction complete.
And then these guys
As you
go over here. And I am going to save before we get into this. Been about 20 minutes. Pretty big battle. Once we have Ebaq, like, we can go to Coruscant from the south, technically. What does the Maldred even have? They have Mon Calamari, then they have 2 groups of 3 or 4 planets. Or 3, really. There's the core one as well. So, if we can take Etti and Bonneton from the CSA, that'll really cut down on their production. They won't have the Lucre Hulks and Bulwarks anymore. They have a ton of them right now. So, we still have a lot to work through from that. But the other thing to be a bit concerned about is the Hapen Space stuff here, where the where Ariadu has presumably a lot of stuff, but also two shipyards. Thank you, Flagar, for subscribing. And great content, Corey. Thank you very much. All right, Ebaq. Oh, I should have brought this extra one over. It's 1 Nemesis. It'd be the difference. And thank you also, Flagar, for the gifted sub.
Reporting.
All right, this one.
Moving out. Advancing. Squad, move out. Right away, sir.
Brent is asking, what kind of structure is infrastructure going? What do you mean?
Orders.
It will be a structure that has the effects that were listed in the video. Increases your influence by 1, costs some money.
Move out. Right away. Moving to that area, sir.
I don't think we'll be able to win this, but I'm going to try to... Here, just come back. there be any map changes outside of the ones shown on the Discord server? Yeah, we don't show everything that's done on the Discord server. There will be other map changes, other new maps.
As you wish. Squadron moving out. Heading for attack position. Transit proceeding. Attack. Command received.
Alright, they have a lot here. It's gonna be... gonna be tough. So many A5s. Thank you, Mick, for the gifted sub as well. I think we might actually make it through this time. It's a rough map to be this loaded up. At least they don't have much in the way of structures. We need the infantry to kill off the AA stuff at the very least. Okay. Run back. Need to draw them in.
This way. Order acknowledged. Moving out. All right, men, take cover.
I'm not sure which of these are the garrisons and which are the actual units, but... you definitely don't want to use the Nemesis to kill
Yes, sir.
AA units.
Destination ahead.
Alright, let's see if we can get...
Let's move
get out of there. There you go. Never mind. Don't need to get out of there.
Let's go. Blast them out. Lancet standing by.
Reporting.
Alright. Go around that way.
Aerial artillery reporting. This way.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see what's there.
Over there.
I think we actually got it. It cost us a lot,
Attack run.
but it could have been worse.
Over there.
There we go. One structure down of 3.
Ready.
At the ready.
And let's see if we can repair this at all.
Moving out. Advancing.
I'll just stay on this side so we can use the infantry to protect them.
Comlink active.
Okay, there we go. Not afraid of the missiles anymore. Go get some money.
Awaiting order. Right away, sir.
We've captured an abandoned mining facility.
Awaiting order.
There. Now we can afford whatever we want, whenever we want it.
Squad.
Guys, go up there.
I copy.
There was an AA turret somewhere, I think. Alright, up to the last base structure. Probably should have used the orbital bombardment on that one. Tankier. shouldn't matter too much. Thrawn is not dead. Thrawn managed to slip through Bilbringi. Battle of Bilbringi did not go as planned. Alright.
Right away.
Get down there, because I don't want these guys to die to the AA turret for once.
Order acknowledged.
Usually I'm okay with that, but not this time.
Ready. Heading out. Destination ahead.
Go around this side.
Lancet standing
And we got just some infantry now. Let's see if it actually makes it in. Should be able to. Just get the one bomb off it we need. Nope. Oh well.
at the ready.
They're still leaving. Alright, we lost like 3 companies with TIE crawlers, probably 1 or 2 companies of infantry, then a nemesis, just the one. Yeah,
System control
I'll
achieved.
take it.
Constructing unit. Vehicle in production.
Cancel the nemesis,
Building.
do that first, and then we'll get another heavy vehicle factory. Alright, how is Kane gonna fare here? Well, let's start off instead by getting starry-eyed. Jameis, we need a capital ship. We'll get area secured and
Unit in
China
production.
Fun. We'll get some more frigates. We will get 418 out of diet.
Production.
Should probably send her to Kuwait, unless we're really worried about getting attacked on Meridoon, which I'm less concerned about. So I'm just going to send you to Kuwait. That's your new home. Ariado Authority took deep space. No Katana fleet for us. Very sad. Let's see what's on DeSevero. We might be able to take out a trade port and drop it down to low enough influence to maybe revolt.
There they are. Blast them.
Okay, let's see how Kane does against 5 Lucre Hulks with enough fighter support. Or with enough anti-fighter support.
Advancing. Confirmed. Right away. Moving out. Moving
Well, enough fighter and anti-fighter support. Just make sure anything that has good amounts of fighters is in first.
Heading out.
Then we'll want impetus, I guess.
Moving to coordinates.
I don't care if they retreat. Let's get Rust Bucket. Though the missile interference would have been nice, actually. Alright, let's see if we can get over there.
Weapon online.
Do all Corvettes have point defense or only certain models? Savvy's asking. It's every Corvette. It's every ship that has rapid laser cannons. So it's pretty much every Corvette, unless it doesn't have laser cannons, and then some ships that are
Ready.
armed with laser cannons above that size as well. So like Nebulon Bs have it too, despite not really being Corvettes.
All batteries commence firing.
Bombers at the ready. TIE squadron here. Ready.
Nothing that has targetable hardpoints does. If we add it to those ships, it'd probably be an active ability with like a cooldown and stuff. Because otherwise we can't make it scale
Ties reporting in.
with how many laser hard points are left alive.
Your orders.
And then it also helps give a little bit more difference between smaller and larger ships.
Changing course to intercept. Roger that. Attack
Okay.
that target. Die squadron standing by.
I'm worried about some of the fighters, but they're not coming for us, so... What happened to Jar Jar Binks after the Clone Wars? He
I've got him.
moved to ET's planet. He was an Imperial hero for giving Palpatine all that power.
Awaiting your command.
I've got him.
Which obviously doesn't help him anywhere else.
I'm losing.
Okay, they have 5 of these guys. There's 2 here. Fighter Bay, Fighter Bay, Fighter Bay.
Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing.
Where'd he go?
Fire at will. Engaging the enemy.
Awaiting what? Attacking target.
Your command, sir. The lasers are our target.
Alright, as long as the fighter bays are down, let's get the bulwark. And you guys come back here.
Dreadnought.
You guys need to get up here.
Commander. Reporting in.
Roger. I copy.
Not going to be a great one for our fighters.
Falling out of formation.
We have enough damage out of the SSD, though, as far as anti-capital stuff does.
All batteries commence firing. Fire at will.
I got
Alright. I'm not as worried about this anymore. We're far back enough that the fighters are just getting in now.
instructions received. Draw their fire.
They won't be able to concentrate fire enough on us.
Our target
So we'll get some of the smaller stuff to kill that recusant coming in. And alright, here comes the fighters. So stay over to that group.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy.
Okay. Switch over to that one now. And I'm gonna try to get you out of there.
Changing course to intercept.
You don't look so hot.
All batteries commence firing.
We definitely need to kill the fighter bays and try to wear down the fighters that are on the map before we bring in more. Or before they bring in more, rather. Before we give them the space to bring in more.
Eliminating target.
Because if we kill the bulwark, they might just have enough pop cap to bring in a third one. Third Lucre Hulk. I think they only have the one bulwark. Alright. Gonna have to get in there. No, Kane, I really need you on this, buddy. Come on. We gotta take out the fighter base so that the fighter losses stick.
Intercepting. I got one.
There's the recusant. I'm just gonna keep everyone on this Lucre Hulk for now. Oh, don't spin. Don't EAW this. They do have a Star Galleon, but yeah, Star Galleon. I'm not concerned about them, or that's a Galleon rather. Yeah, yeah. I'm not worried about them out healing the damage from an ISD and an SSD. The Galleons help a lot more with smaller ships like these. They're not as effective when a unit has hard points. Usually, when you're concentrating fire on a hard point, it's going to die between ticks of the heal, which are about 2 seconds apart.
He's headed your direction.
If you have a lot of them, they can be helpful for keeping a capital ship
I'll
alive.
take care of this.
But generally, it's more of a smaller ship thing than a larger ship thing.
I'm losing. Closing on target.
For the smaller tenders, at least.
Pursuing enemy forces. Taking them out. Engaging the enemy.
Alright, there we go. That's 2 of those.
Yes, sir.
Let's try to move you out of there. Back to that strategy.
Yes, Commander. Acquiring target. Locking on.
They haven't really been able to get anything in range to target Kane. Really, it's our Venator and Tector that have been in range. Or ISD, rather.
Target locked.
Not a Tector.
Regroup for another attack.
Engaging the enemy.
But now it's in range of the Lucre Hulk, so...
All batteries commence firing.
Get behind them. Eliminating target.
The Lucre Hulk range has been buffed with the range reworks. So they're...
All batteries commence firing.
Especially along with the speed changes and stuff, the AI won't struggle to use them as much.
Fire at will.
They're coming in.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing.
I got it.
Fire at will.
I'm on this.
Get the bulwark now, because it's going to be a problem. For the ISD.
All batteries commence firing.
I'm going to try to take out all the damaging hard points on this.
At will.
The bigger tenders have only bigger radius, or also faster repair. It really depends on the type. Like, TR doesn't really have much in the way of bigger tenders yet anyways. The Altor will kind of be the first one that's in a super different class. Like, there's MTCs, but they're only so different.
Escort carrier standing by.
But there's a few different, like, healing levers for balancing the effectiveness there.
Engaging the enemy.
There's the number of targets you can heal, which is either single target or unlimited. That's only a binary thing.
Batteries commence firing.
There's healing range, and then there's the interval between healing, as well as healing percent. So it's not a healing isn't a set amount that goes out. It's a percentage of the target, which is annoying because I'd rather have control over the exact amount. But whatever, Empire at War can do what it wants. And all of those levers get used for different tender types. It's something I've been working on changing some of the systems for with the introduction of the Altor. It'll probably be something that gets a bit more attention in the next release. I'm doing some kind of like basics for it now, then do something a little bit more systematic for it next time.
Engaging
It
the
really depends on how long we're in beta and how smoothly other stuff goes, though.
all batteries.
Like, I've been working on some of the last tape and content coding over the last couple days. Fileraptor rigged the ground units and Nolan statted them, so I've been implementing some of them, and then that'll be everything in-game for the Hapens, but, or more or less. But then there's still some textures to do for those. I've basically coded in a lot of them with placeholder textures, but at least then we'll have the gameplay more down, and then it's just getting the assets done. We can do that while we figure out how everything feels for them. Alright, they sent in 2 more of the Lucre Hulks. Sent them in pretty far back, though, too.
Where are the others?
New Jersey, you can come in.
Where'd he go?
I mean, we're probably going to have to come back for a second round of this anyways. But let's send in Kane a little bit closer. We're okay on health and shields. Still got like 3/4 left on that.
I've got him.
We have a lot of anti-fighter here.
Fire at will.
Sir,
Engaging the enemy.
Maybe they'll send in the final one a bit closer.
Fire at will.
I have them.
Engaging the enemy.
I doubt it.
Batteries commence firing.
It'd make my life easier, but
Fire at will.
probably wouldn't make theirs easier.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy.
Okay, let's see. We know you got one left.
All batteries commence firing.
Where's it gonna be?
Sir,
What are you gonna do to me? Let's make sure, once again, you kill the Lucre Hulk's hangars. The fighter bays.
under control. Narrowing position.
Have shields on that one. We're at 66%. I don't know why I'm still, like, guessing how much shields we have when the number's right up there. Okay. Bombers.
Fire at will. Tightening up. Coming around.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if that was enough with all of them. I think it was. There it is. Oh, look at that. Oh, crap. I messed it up. I messed it up. Gross. Galeano's asking, is there any plans for buildings that increase influence on a planet, like facilities for citizens? Yep. In the video I put up on Saturday, whichever, the economy rework video, we showed off the local infrastructure building, which is just like, want to picture it as whatever local services. That costs 250 credits per week, but increases the influence on that planet by 1.
Engaging the enemy.
So it's not exploitable for like getting high enough that you can just tax the shit out of everyone, but it's it helps when you need to get to a specific level for like influence units and stuff. We wanted to avoid being too specific with the type of structure it is, because we didn't want like players going in and blowing up hospitals or something. So
TIE interceptor here.
even with like the prison labor structure, we've kind of gone back and forth on how we want to label those kinds of things. Tango's asking, gonna assume that all options have been tried, but there's no way to stop larger ships from spinning around when ordering them to attack from a modding point of view. There, not really. Like, we do what we can to mitigate it, and changing the ship, the way the game sees ship sizes helped a bit, but it's fundamentally just an issue with how EAW handles targeting, so there's only so much you can do there.
Returning to your position.
Like, we can't change the actual pathfinding in the game, we can't change the actual targeting in the game. We can change targeting priorities, we can change sizes and speeds and stuff, but we can't change the underlying logic for how the systems work. So that's kind of just a fact of life in EAW.
Locking on.
Alright, you guys get forward some more. Up to that. Pain. I'm gonna start sending towards the structures.
Roger that.
Sir,
Notice that the Z-axis of capital ships is rather cluttered, with several ships often merging together in a single unit. Is there anything that can be done to mitigate this? Yeah, so that's the size of the ship being reduced, which helps with pathfinding, but we still need to find the values that'll prevent overlap enough without losing the benefits of making them smaller in the first place. But like this, I'm probably going to play with the Z-axis randomizing a little bit more, but you don't want to spread those out too much because that has a lot of negative impacts from gameplay. It can look better to have like, oh, this is up here, this is down here, and look how wide-ranging all the Z layers are. But the way that targeting works in Empire at War is that it is the direct vector. So it's not like something, let's say this has a range that allows it to target something here. That would mean that it's in a radius. It's not like anything up here and down here is equally targetable, because you can't tell units where to go on the Z-axis. You have to keep it within a reasonable range so that the visuals of having ships on different layers doesn't override the effect of like needing to be able to target from different areas.
intercepting.
Because range is like the direct distance. It's not like the X vector ignoring the Y vector or the Z vector. It's the entire vector.
Taking fire.
Form up.
Target locked.
Attacking.
Excellent shot. Getting a lock. Tires reporting in.
Copy that.
I'm on them. Closing on
Destroyer
target.
here.
I've been hit.
Engaging the enemy.
If you like quadruple ship ranges and make ships smaller, then you have more room to work with there, but then that's a very different style of combat.
Pursuing enemy forces. Sir, reporting. Let's finish him. Get behind them.
Copy.
Sir,
All
Alright,
batteries commit.
get moving.
I copy.
You have engines? You do have engines.
I have them.
If we kill this stuff and then we come back,
I'm on them.
that'd be a thing we can do.
Around.
Here.
Fire at will. Engaging
Speed that up a little bit.
I got one.
all batteries commence firing.
Locking on.
Fire at will.
Got them in my sight.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing.
They've taken
Fire
out
at will.
our launch bay.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence
Enemies
firing.
in range.
Fire at will.
Back around for another run.
Engaging the enemy.
Target locked.
All batteries commence firing.
Oh, I never actually took out the last
Fire at will.
fighter bay on that.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries
Unfortunate.
commence firing. Fire at will.
Go after them.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy.
Regroup. Getting a lock. I've got him.
All batteries commence firing. Fire at will.
I've got him.
Engaging the enemy.
Get over there.
Engaging.
Or do we still have the engines? We do still have the engines. But you know what? We're in range already. We're fine.
Target locked.
Awaiting command.
Sir,
Yes, Commander. Attack that
watch
target.
your back. Intercepting. Commander, they're hitting us.
At a certain point, you just end up with the scale of sins.
Standing by.
Which I think we have like way too small an ascendancy.
Won't be around much longer. Comlink active.
There we go.
Star Cruiser here.
You can hang back, New Jersey. You don't need to risk yourself.
Star Cruiser standing by.
You are indeed not quite an SSD. That's true.
Attacking target.
Bombers go burr. That's also true. Make sure the Venators can get their damage in. Don't want them to be getting killed by the Golan, though.
I got one.
Going further. You know what? You've got enough. You're good.
All batteries commence firing.
Where'd
Fire
he
at
go?
will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy.
Gives the bombers back on micro. I mean, the micro for bombers in this battle was don't run into the massive CSA fighter swarms.
All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging.
That was my favor to them.
All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy.
Nowhere to run.
Okay, can you get the Empress now? And can my Venators kill that?
Dreadnought cruiser ready. All ahead.
How did you live? You're just like 15% of a fighter bay.
Heavy cruiser stepping by.
Jesus.
Ready for command, sir. Open fire. Under control. I'm hit. It's about to be destroyed.
We're lucky they didn't have an ion cannon. Well, at least an ion cannon that could shoot Kane.
We're being targeted.
None of them can in this playthrough. Definitely acted as a buff to heroes for us here, even if none of you get to play with it. Alright, try to focus on the hard points on this side. Make sure that ISD is safe. Been through a lot.
Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Losing power. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing.
Scopes are jammed.
Okay.
For another attack.
There's most of one planet.
Fire at will.
Watch him. He's coming around.
The lasers are on.
Commander, they're hitting us. Roger that.
Alright.
Where'd he go? TIE squadrons.
Just the shipyard.
Nowhere to run.
Do we have the pop cap to bring anything else in? No. Oh, you can hit. You're good.
Falling out of formation.
Engaging the enemy.
There, shoot that one.
Returning to your position.
Awaiting your command.
And the rest of you on that. Oh, there's still a goal and one off on the side.
All batteries commence
Headed your
firing.
direction.
Formation. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy.
Go after the stragglers.
All batteries commence firing. Fire at will.
Sir, ready for battle. Attack that
Engaging the enemy.
All right. Here we go.
Stay in formation.
All batteries commence firing.
Get behind them.
Fire at will.
Getting a lock.
Engaging the enemy.
Sir,
We need to do that one more time.
Batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing.
Saying kind of weird the Krulea can win that matchup. Place Luke Relics near the goal in 3 and no SSD would be able to break through. So the way the AI worked in base Empire at War and in a lot of mods is that they'll just sit under their stations, which means that, like, yeah, they'll be more protected by that. But it also means that you can exploit them in different ways. Like, if you have longer ranges than the units that are being told to stay under this shipyard, then they just die with no answer. So you just get longest range ships. You sit there, you kill those units. And, like, there's pluses and minuses to it either way. We tend to prefer not to have the battles just become station sieges, because those can take a long time and get kind of sloggy anyways. So we tend to go more towards, like, there's a response range that units have out from both where they start, from the stations, and where other units are fighting, which means that if stuff is in range, they'll go and try to attack that. It can be a bit weirder with SSDs because of how the game calculates range. So they will like attack ranges, and where the game thinks things are gets a little bit wonkier.
Moving ahead.
awaiting your command.
So it's a trade-off either way. Heck.
Moving to coordinates.
Did I? Oh, I fucking... What I did. Look what I did. Alright. I think that's going to do it for our first episode here for the day. We're going to keep going. But for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. For those watching on Twitch, stick around, and we're going to kill more PA or CSA people, not PA. We're not killing the PA. That would be counterproductive.